Here are the major lessons in life to learn. Learn how to handle the winters. They come right after fall with regularity. Some are long, some are short. Some are difficult, some are easy. But they always come right after fall. Remember, it isn't going to change. Now, there are all kinds of winters, right? The winter when you can't figure it out. The winter when it all goes smash. Wintertime, we call it the winters of your life. One writer called it the winter of discontent. The winter when it turns upside down, when it all goes wrong. There are economic winters, social winters, personal winters, when your heart is smashed into 1,000 pieces. Wintertime, disappointment. Disappointment is common to us all. So learn how to handle the winter. You must learn how to handle the night. They come right after day. You must learn how to handle difficulty. It always comes after opportunity. You must learn to handle recession. They come right after expansion. It isn't going to change. What are some things, so one thing I've heard you talk about, which I find really interesting, when I think about all the things that we're doing that are disrupting things, all these unintended consequences of modern behavior, I am truly glad that cell phones, the internet, and pornography did not exist when I was younger, because I don't know if at 14 I could have been disciplined enough if I had access to that. And when you think about the things that we're doing right now that are sort of that have maybe the most grand unintended consequences for you. Yeah, on the time scale of 24 hours, one of the huge mistakes that we all make, I've said this many times, so people have heard me say this before, forgive me, but it turns out it's still true. Getting too much bright light exposure from the hours of 10 p.m. until 4 a.m. Unless you have to work shift work, which is a unique case, that bright light exposure between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m., even if you adjust the colors of the lights, you still need to get everything really, really dim, because it actually blocks the release of dopamine through a pathway that involves a structure called the habenula. The habenula was a cryptic structure in the brain for a long time, but now we know there's a punishment signal in the brain. You get neurochemically punished for viewing bright light at those hours. How would that be wired in? We'd never be able to expose ourselves to bright light. So that's a great question. So firelight won't do that. Moonlight's fine. Candles, lights that are dim or low in your environment. So the pathway to the habenula and then to these dopamine reducing circuits are the pain pathway that we were referring to earlier. It's a generic pathway through which lots of different types of signals and stimuli and events can punish us internally.
When you start to have a moment with yourself, the crazy part is you start to build a partnership with yourself. Like, you know, when you are pulling out of your driveway or you're walking down the street and see a neighbor and they greet you, you will start to have that experience when you create this intentional moment with yourself in the mirror every morning. And so, as I started to do this, I thought, this is actually making me feel like the wind is at my back when I leave the bathroom. It's making me feel just like when you leave a huddle in sports and you high five, or you're a runner running a race or doing some big endurance challenge and some spectator high fives you, or another racer's like, come on, you got this, as you're dragging down low. It gives you a little energy. Like, I think too about this high five a lot. Like, I know, you're friends with David Goggins. I'm a huge fan of Goggins. And I know there's a lot of people that watch the show, especially men, and like, this sounds kind of stupid. This is the equivalent of Goggins' cookie jar moment. So we all think, like, we've all been raised like, tough love, hard on yourself, this really bullshit. The research is clear on this. Being hard on yourself is not fucking motivating. It's demotivating. And if you already feel like a failure, or you feel a sense of shame, or you're overwhelmed, beating yourself up where you are does not fucking work. It drives you into the gut. The most motivating force in the world, on the planet, based on research, hands down, is empowerment, encouragement, support, and celebration. And for our entire lives, we have outsourced that to somebody else. The research is very clear. So the NBA study, they did this big study looking at NBA teams. And they could predict in the study who was going to be in the championship rounds based on, in the preseason, what teams had the most high fives, fist bumps, and backpats. Why? because those kind of gestures create partnership and trust. And I'm here to tell you, when you start doing it in here, you're creating partnership and trust with yourself. And so, one of the things that I love about this is that in a moment when you feel alone, you can give yourself the boost, the support, the empowerment that you need to keep going. And here's another piece of research that's also like, holy cow. You're a big proponent of the growth mindset. You guys talk about it all the time on the show, right? So researchers want to know, what is the most empowering way to motivate kids through a really big challenge, okay? They divide the kids into 3 groups. This takes the marshmallow test to a whole nother level. You got one group of kids that are doing a challenging task and they're getting a fixed mindset grade. We all know this not working. Oh, Tom, you're so smart. Oh, Tom, I love your glasses. That's going to help you. Oh, Tom, you got a great smile. Oh, Tom, I just love so much about you. I know you do this. So that's one group. The second group gets the growth mindset kind of things. Tom, you are such a hard worker. Tom, your perseverance is unbelievable. Tom, you just keep going. That does better, obviously, than telling you that you're smart, because it makes you motivated to work hard. The third group, they just got a simple high five. The researchers didn't even say anything to the kids. They just walked up, gave them a high five. The group of kids that got a simple high five outperformed, outworked through all of the challenges, all of the other forms of praise. Why? Because a high five is something deeper than praise. It fulfills your most fundamental needs as a human being. When somebody high fives you, you feel seen, you feel heard, and you feel like somebody has acknowledged you for the unique person that you are.
Somebody who has been praying for years for things to turn around. And they're asking God, they're questioning God, where is it? When, where? Send me a sign, send me a burning bush, send me something to confirm that my hopes and my dreams and things that I want to accomplish are going to actually happen. You're thinking about quitting, you're thinking about getting up. You're allowing this family curse that have gotten in the way of what your mama, your daddy, your cousins, and everybody in your family have not been able to accomplish. You are folding